Saving Expert Daily News Show, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday to stay up to date with what is happening in the markets. So let's first take a look at Crypto Saving Expert, the official best cryptocurrency website out there. You can see here we have Bitcoin sat at $22,965 and Ethereum sat at $1,650. So we have seen a slight move to the downside overnight. Let's discuss that a little bit more because we did call this perfectly in yesterday's stream. Let's take a look at this. We currently are sat at $22,690. We retested this level of resistance that we've had all these lines drawn on this chart for a very long time. We've spoke about these levels of support and resistance for about 2 weeks here on the channel, and you can see here we've retested that level of resistance perfectly. We did get rejected from that at $23,275. We then came down and tried to hold that $22,770 level, but we didn't get very far before coming down and retesting that next level of support at $22,530. So what am I looking at right now in terms of extra levels of support? If we break through this, I'm looking at the $22,290 level. But overall, if we do continue breaking through these levels of support, we do have many more supports below this. I know our founder, that Martini guy, is still feeling. You don't have it on the screen again. Thanks to him. Again, I forgot. We can see here we have all of these levels of support. Let's run through this again. We have bounced this level of resistance nicely. We then came down and tried to hold this level of support but failed to do so. And we have now come down and tested this level of support down at $22,536. If we manage to break back through this previous level of support that is now acting like a resistance at $22,770, I'll be looking up at a quick move to $23,275. But if we do get rejected by this level of resistance that used to be a support, we'll be looking back down at these levels at $22,540, $22,290, and then we'll be coming down to this range of around $21,650 and $20,630. Now we do have a CME gap down at $20,000, and that is something that I am aware of because they do act like magnets for the Bitcoin price. However, if upon some miracle we started to break through these levels of resistances, we do also have a CME gap up at $28,000. Now, as we all know, Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. So if a lot of people are jumping into short positions right now because we've seen this move to the downside, that will indicate that Bitcoin will move to the upside. And if a lot of people are trying to long their positions, then we'll move to the downside. So it's just interesting to see how Bitcoin's playing out right now. We are consolidating. If we zoom out onto the daily chart, we were talking on this channel saying we've just moved up into a straight line at about this point here, and I was feeling pretty fearful because we don't want to see Bitcoin move in like a low cap altcoin move where we do a huge move to the upside and then we have no support, so we dump straight back down again. We want to see us consolidate and we want to see us build levels of support, and that is thankfully what Bitcoin seems to be doing. So hopefully that continues. We want to have as many levels of support underneath us as possible. Right, so that is today's Bitcoin analysis. We can take a look at some trading indicators as well. Let's take a look at the RSI. We are currently sat at, on the 4-hour chart, oversold down at 40 on the RSI for Bitcoin. If we take a look at the 2-hour chart, again oversold at 40, and on the 1-hour chart. So Bitcoin is currently signaling oversold on the RSI. If we take a look at the MACD to see what's happening over here, you can see clearly we are looking like we are about to take into bullish momentum on the smaller time frame of 1 hour. For the 2-hour and the 4-hour, it's looking like we have bearish momentum. So we're looking at in the short term, maybe seeing a move. But if we look at the 1-hour chart here, it does look like we are getting rejected by that previous level of support and using it as a resistance at 22,770. I know that Jordan, our founder, that Martini guy, is still feeling bullish. So we have some opposing opinions here. I'm not 100% convinced, but let's see what happens in the next couple of days. We will keep you updated over here on the Crypto Saving Expert News Show. If you do enjoy these streams, please make sure to like and subscribe and press that bell notification button to help us get to that 100,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year. We are currently at 2,433 subscribers and on a mission to get to 100,000 by the end of the year. So we'll do these daily live streams every day until we get there, and after that as well. So my personal opinion on the markets before we move on to the news is that we may see one more move up to the upside, but I do sort of hope that we do bounce some nice levels of support lower than this point, just to consolidate and build those levels of support below us. But we will see, and my technique is to dollar cost average in every time we hit a support, and then dollar cost average out every time we hit a level of resistance, and that is profitable in either scenario. And that is why I always say you need to find a trading strategy that is going to remove as many of your emotions from the markets as possible. And for me, that's the dollar cost average in when we hit new supports, and dollar cost average out when we hit new resistances. And that makes me profitable and makes me feel okay. If the market moves to the downside, I know I can put more money into the market and move my average price down. And if the market moves to the upside, I know I can take some nice profits. So that is my most profitable trading strategy, and means it's a win-win in both scenarios. Let's see, Tim said, I don't think I've ever seen TNG bearish. He is a Bitcoin bull through and through, but he's very, very good at knowing when to not enter trades as well. So that is a very common and useful trading strategy for Bitcoin bulls. Let's take a look at the news now. Anyway, we have London is going to host the largest crypto and blockchain conference, and this is on the 27th and 28th of this month. Now, I was just taking a look at the speakers at this event. BitBoy is going to be speaking at this event, and many others within the cryptocurrency industry. This is following the UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who was once the Chancellor of the Exchequer. It's my ambition to make the UK a global hub for crypto asset technology. This is precisely why London has been selected as one of the hosts for the International Blockchain Economy Summit Series. So this is looking like it's going to be an interesting event. You can see all the speakers that are going to be on in the event over here. And this has been highly anticipated, with blockchain events will be hosted by BBC, Sky and Bloomberg's financial commentator, Victoria Scholar, and critical aspects of the industry such as investing in cryptocurrencies, trading cryptocurrencies in bear markets, DeFi, crypto exchanges and regulation to protect user funds. The list goes on and on and on. So very interesting. You can see here we have a 15% off promo code on standard tickets, be London 15, and we also have some more information about the event there. So interesting things to come. It's good to see the UK having events like this. Moving on to the next article here, we have Zcash and Monero and other privacy coins could be are now banned in Dubai. So Dubai has become a cryptocurrency hotspot for, recently. In the recent years, we've seen a huge amount of people that are in cryptocurrency moving out to Dubai. Now, this will be due to the fact that they have 0% tax on cryptocurrencies. I think that is due to change this year, though, or it's anticipated to change this year. But now it is prohibited to the issuance and all transactional activities concerning anonymity enhancing cryptocurrencies under new regulations published on Tuesday. The new regulations by Dubai Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority state that the issuance of anonymity enhanced cryptocurrencies and all virtual asset activities related to them are prohibited in the Emirates. Now, very interesting here, because this could push a lot of people out of the space. Dubai are kind of pushing against the cryptocurrency hub that they have created with their changes in tax. Well, they're looking to change the tax, I believe, making certain cryptocurrencies illegal. That may push certain people out of Dubai, or stop certain people that were going to enter Dubai. Look at other jurisdictions instead, because it's becoming less and less cryptocurrency friendly. So crypto transactions using popular privacy coins such as Zcash, Monero, Verge and others will not be allowed in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. Let's take a look if this has had any effect on the prices of these whatsoever, because I have seen that Monero hasn't performed as well as the rest of the markets for 2023. Let's see what we have here. Monero, it is currently down 1.46%. We have seen a slight move to the downside in the last 2 days since this news was released. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to have too much of an effect, but it's just interesting that Dubai are pushing against this appeal that they've created for the cryptocurrency industry and making it less appealing. At the time of writing, it needs to be clarified whether digital assets such as Dash and Litecoin, which have optional privacy settings, are categorized as anonymity enhancing digital assets by Dubai's VARA. And the regulations are meant to promote the UAE as an international cryptocurrency hub. I believe it is doing the opposite. The VARA's new regulations on digital assets in the UAE are created with the following 5 objectives in mind. So, to promote the UAE as a regional and international crypto hub, to boost the Emirates' competitiveness at the local and international levels, and develop the digital economy of the UAE, to increase the awareness of virtual assets as investments and encourage innovation in the industry, to assist in attracting investments and encourage companies in the crypto industry to base their operations in the Emirates, and to develop necessary guidelines to protect investors and dealers, as well as crucial illegal practices. To develop the regulations, rules and standards required to supervise and oversee virtual assets platform and related businesses. Now, the UAE have brought in a huge amount of money by making it incredibly easy for cryptocurrency people to be in the space. A lot of people move over to Dubai when they're in cryptocurrency because there's less regulations, because there's less tax, because they make it really simple for cryptocurrency users to be there. Now they're bringing in this different level of regulation. Could become a problem for them in the long term. I don't know if this will actually push it in the way they are hoping for. We can see here the UAE, particularly Dubai, has long been regarded as the go-to hub for crypto exchanges and projects due to favourable tax conditions. Consequently, there has been an influx of new applications for crypto businesses wishing to operate in the Emirates. As a result, the VARA is planning on quadrupling its headcount over the next few months to handle hundreds of new license applications. And they stated that 2 employees in March 2022 has since grown to about 20 staff. It's been a mad sprint. It's a case of to be careful what you wish for. We've created a lot of work for ourselves in terms of supervision and enforcement. And so this is how they are trying to react to that burst in cryptocurrency companies in the area. Let's see what's happening next in the next article. There we have Russian bank calls for gradual release of digital ruble, and here's why. So Russian banks could lose close to $700 million yearly if the national digital currency launches. So we've spoke about this on the channel in the last couple of days. We've seen the UK say they want to release a central bank digital currency, the Bitcoin, by 2030, and then we also saw that they would only let each individual hold £10,000 to £20,000 in this central bank digital currency initially, just so that a lot of people don't just dump all of their money out of the traditional banking system and move it into this Bitcoin, because if they do, it can have an effect on the banks. So they're trying to make this slow transition over. Now, this has had a lot of negative press, and I think, in my opinion, it feels like a lot of people on Twitter have twisted this, saying that you can't save anymore because you're using the central bank digital currency. But I just think they're trying to slow that transition over. Obviously, they have said right now that in Britain, we're going to still have cash and we're going to have this CBDC as well. And they're going to work side by side. They're both worth the same amount of value, because one way of pushing people in central bank digital currencies is saying that it's worth 5% more than the actual cash equivalent, but they're not doing that right now. They're saying they're working side by side. In the long term, I expect that could no longer be the case and we get pushed fully onto central bank digital currencies. But up until now, that is the expectation, and in Britain it's not expected to happen until 2030. But we're seeing Russia is also calling for this gradual release of the digital ruble so that the banking industry doesn't just completely collapse. So taking a look at this, banks could lose millions after the CBDC launch. This statement is a tandem with a recent report issued by leading consulting company and partners, which claimed that each Russian bank could lose 50 billion rubles yearly after the digital ruble launch. The total losses could cross 250 billion rubles in over 5 years, per the report. While giving reasons for this, they said that the digital ruble is released, the cost of servicing payments will decrease, and retailers will begin the main beneficiaries of this measure. Consumers and banks, by contrast, could lose some of their income. Obviously, banks will have to somehow minimize their losses. Therefore, it is very important to take into account these risks and move towards the launch of the digital ruble gradually in order to give the financial system enough time to adapt. So that is similar to what we are seeing in Britain right now with our central bank digital currency. We do have another article about central bank digital currencies later on in today's stream, but we will get there. Let's not skip ahead. Let's take a look at the next article here. Before we get on to the next article, please make sure to like and subscribe and press that bell notification button, and make sure to stay tuned because we have this bullish price prediction coming up. If you haven't already, make sure to go over to cryptosavingexpert.com and you'll come to the main homepage that looks something like this, pretty brilliant. And you can see if you press this sign up button here, you will get access to the latest cryptocurrency news, which is completely free and trustworthy and reliable. And we have cryptocurrency guides. And if you go into here and go to encyclopedia, you have an article on every single one of these words. So if you find one that you want to do a little bit more research into, just click on that word and you can see a full article. Some are a bit longer than that one. Let's check this one out. You can see here we go into a lot of detail, and you can just read a short description here, or you can listen to me describing the words and the term and what it means in cryptocurrency over here as well. So we've got everything covered, making sure you like everything. We have it in video format, short format, and long format for every single word we could think of in the world of cryptocurrency, so that you can look at the format that best suits you, and you can decide how much information you'd like to learn. But there's so much on the Crypto Saving Expert website for us. We also have free courses, absolutely free, and we've worked incredibly hard on these. If you need to sign in to get access to these, but you can learn about everything cryptocurrency at a beginner level in Crypto 101, and then you can go more in depth on blockchain basics, and you can go incredibly in depth on Bitcoin, this course where you can learn what Bitcoin is, understanding it, and the Bitcoin and digital gold course as well. So many more courses will be released in the next couple of weeks. We are working on them behind the scenes constantly, and we'll just continue updating this part so that everyone can continue learning and become a crypto saving expert. It chopped me off there. Let's take a look at the next article and see what is happening here. We have the Van Eck maintains its $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction by 2030. And Hanzak said in the chat he's trying to complete the courses. Yes, the courses are brilliant, and at the end of every chapter of the course, there is a short quiz to make sure you've understood everything correctly. My advice to you right now is to perform as well as possible on these quizzes. If you fail, do it again. That resilience will be noted. Let's take a look at the next resilience, maybe persistence will be noted, I should say. The Van Eck maintains its $250,000 Bitcoin prediction by 2028. Now, I'd say that's a bit of a bearish prediction. I am a Bitcoin bull. If we take a look at the Bitcoin charts and take a look at the weekly chart, we can see the last bull market before the 2017 bull market, we had a high of $20,000, and at the 2021 bull market, we had a high of just under $70,000. So I'm expecting a huge increase from $70,000 in the anticipated 2025 bull market, where I expect us to hit at least $300,000. But obviously nothing on this channel is financial advice. Every single day I tell you I'm meant to stick to the news and be less opinionated, but every single day I come on here with another opinion. That is what we are looking at on the Bitcoin chart, in my opinion. And I think 2028 is a bit, I think in 2028 we could be much higher, because we have 2025 as the next bull market, and then we'll have the 2026-2027 bear market, and then the 2028 should be pretty high. And what we're looking at is around the bottom we've seen so far in this bear market is 15,000. Let's take a look at this. 15,640. We are currently, and the bull market we had prior, not this bull market but the one before, was at $20,000. So you can see we haven't come much below the previous high. If we take a look at BTC USDT on the index chart, you can see that we usually don't really exceed the previous bull market's high. So this was a bull market here, and you can see the next bear market didn't even come to that low. You can see this bull market here, the next bear market didn't come to that low. So we could, by the next bull market, if we move all the way up, let's say the next bull market hits, let's be conservative and say $200,000. That would mean, for me, in my opinion, that in 2028, that would be the low of Bitcoin's price in that next bear market. But that is what we are looking at on the cryptocurrency news. That was just a complete tangent from me. Nothing is financial advice. That is just what I would expect. I'd expect it to be higher than this, because I'm expecting the next bull market to be higher than this. But it's not too far off. Taking a look at this, the number one digital asset has had an eventful first few weeks of 2023, opening the year at $16,540 and rising by 46.6% to hit a local high at $24,255. The increase here has been amazing. 2023 has been a brilliant year to be in cryptocurrency, and well deserved for us that stuck around during 2022, because 2022 was incredibly painful. So it's happy to have come out the other side. How long it lasts will be interesting to see. I mean, we can't go up forever. We are still at the bottom of this bear market, I would think. It's very hard to say if we're in a bull market right now, because you declare this in hindsight. You can't look now and say bull market's over, but bear market's over, bull market is starting, because it's something you see in hindsight. I personally believe that we have bottomed, or we've come very, very close to that bottom. I wouldn't expect this to go much further down if we were to retest those super lows. But I do believe we are starting to move to the upside again, and everyone is going to feel a lot happier to be in the cryptocurrency space. And everybody that's been around for 2022 and 2020 and the entire of 2022. I keep saying that wrong, don't I? 2022 will be rewarded greatly from their efforts, because if you've stuck around, you've seen how the markets react to certain pieces of information, you've learned about the space, you understand how the different cryptocurrencies work, you understand which assets are good to invest in, you've seen how the different assets perform. Like we've seen AI came up big with ChatGPT, and then a couple of weeks later we saw all the AI cryptocurrencies perform really well. If you notice things like this and realize that you can jump on these different trends and profit greatly from them, in 2023, we'll all perform incredibly well. Let's take a look at this article before we finish. We keep our $250,000 Bitcoin long-term price target, half the market cap of gold, pushing the target rate to 2028 after another halving year. If Bitcoin price does not make a new all-time high by 2026, we would consider our thesis broken. That is something I can agree with. If we don't hit another all-time high in 2025, or by 2025, that is when I'd start to be, by the end of 2025, I'd start to be a little bit fearful. Because that would mean that we haven't seen that strong bull market that we'd like to see, that is usually pushed by the Bitcoin halving that we are expecting in March 2024. Lee said I survived 2018 too, didn't get any reward. That is painful, but I also would say a lot of people in cryptocurrency have been burnt in this space and lost a huge amount of money in this space. I've made every mistake in the book, basically, and I made a lot of money and then I lost a lot of money, and we all have to learn from those things. And now we are at that point in time where we can take those mistakes and learn from them and do better this bull market. Let's take a look at the next article. Very interesting points here, though, that we do have big bullish predictions, but if we don't hit new all-time highs by 2026, that 4-year cycle will actually be broken, and then in that case, no one will really know what to expect in cryptocurrency. But I am fully expecting it to do so, to follow the usual course. Let's take a look at the next article. We have IRS releases new requirements for crypto tax reports. So they've released a new set of reporting requirements for entities and individuals in the entertainment industry that have executed crypto transactions in the last tax year. So let's take a look at this. Cryptocurrencies, previously addressed as virtual currencies, are now called digital assets. And commenting on the two new tax requirements, we've heard that the film/TV and entertainment space has popularized trying to experiment with using crypto for budgets, fundraising, or artist payments over the last few years. Some people utilize this because of the lack of reporting infrastructure at the time and the potential for currency value increase. So they've urged people in the entertainment industry to refrain from ignoring the new rules, as the reporting requirement for their projects may have differed from when they adopted crypto for their projects. Individuals who have just held onto their crypto assets purchased with fiat or transferred between personal wallets are exempt from this taxation requirement. And when NFTs are purchased, Ethereum ETH 1.8% increase is sent from the buyer's wallet to the seller's wallet, and a new cost basis pool is created. But when NFTs are transferred from one wallet to another and sold via over the counter, it becomes extremely difficult for us to as accountants to track. So the crypto tax managing partner explained that accounting firms would form IT teams to obtain the needed NFT information directly from blockchains. The team will assemble all transfers executed by the client and then obtain the appropriate cost basis. Regardless of the reasoning, income must be appropriately reported. Crypto is not an exemption. So we are trying to see them monitor the space more accurately. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what's happening over here. We are being pretty slow at today's news. I keep getting distracted. Let's take a look at this. The RBI's duty governor says India is in no hurry to develop retail CBDC. So we spoke about CBDCs across the rest of the world earlier on in today's article. We can see here in India we want the process to happen, but we want the process to happen gradually and slowly. We are in no hurry to make something happen so quickly. We have our targets in terms of users, in terms of merchants. We will go slowly. So this is another place where we are seeing them want to adopt CBDCs. We don't want to rush into that though, because it will affect the traditional banking industry. We're seeing that now in today's news. We've heard about the UK, we've heard about Russia, and now we've heard from India saying the similar thing as well. Also, I don't know if many people noticed yesterday, Twitter went down last night. I don't think we have a news article on that today. Let's take a look. It should be working smoothly again now, but it actually didn't allow anybody to follow anybody new or send out any tweets. Your tweets just disappeared after you press send. But that happened and it's now up and running again, I believe. Let's take a look at the next article then. Before we do, please don't forget to like today's video and subscribe and press that bell notification button. I haven't even asked for that once. I've completely forgot to ask for that in today's stream. We are currently only on 8 likes because we haven't even asked you to do so. So please make sure to like today's video and subscribe and press that bell notification button. Let's take a look at this article. Argentina to require crypto firms to prove they are solvent. Let's take a look at this. After FTX's implosion in November, Argentina's government is considering new regulations to prove that cryptocurrency exchanges are solvent, and the effects of FTX, of course, obviously we've seen many different effects after the FTX collapse. The key to the new requirements are regulations to ensure that crypto firms operating in Argentina provide proof of solvency. The CNV is currently studying and planning how to implement the proposed rules as it waits for a congressional vote to give to the go-ahead to start streamlining the crypto industry in Argentina. The regulation will focus on exchanges, not tokens, and the regulation will come into effect progressively after the congressional bill is approved. We will set up a working group with the industry to agree on the new regulatory parameters, which will include that companies comply with requirements of assets and solvency to back the risk they assume. So we are just seeing more regulation in the space following the FTX collapse. So we'll see that continue in the next couple of weeks, I believe, while different jurisdictions try and understand how they can best manage the cryptocurrency industry. Let's take a look at the next article now. We have according to a report from Bloomberg, the asset management division of Deutsche Bank, the DWS, is in discussions to invest in 2 German cryptocurrency companies as part of attempts to boost growth. Let's take a look at this. Where are we? One of the most significant objectives of Hoops with this move to restoring DWS's reputation after accusing of greenwashing prompted investigations by US and German authorities that would require entering a market plagued by a string of recent governance crises, including the collapse of the cryptocurrency FTX in November. DWS reported outflows of nearly $21.5 billion in 2022. And a $107 billion drop in assets under management as the market fell nationwide. So Hoops has stated that one of the company's objectives is the strategy released in December was to place its products on the blockchain to develop a stable coin based on euros and invest in other blockchain related services. So we are still seeing adoption within the cryptocurrency space. Let's move on quickly from this. We have 2 more articles to go, 2 pretty new, big articles to go. We have Coinbase CEO warns the SEC could ban crypto staking in the United States. Now, this is a rumor that has come from the CEO of Coinbase. We can see here, Brian Armstrong said he's heard rumors that the United States SEC wants to prohibit crypto staking by retail users. Now, we all know the SEC does not like the cryptocurrency industry. They have tried to regulate us as much as possible, but there's been a bit of a competition over whether cryptocurrencies are a commodity or a security, and the SEC just try and target different cryptocurrency companies at this point. But we can see the Coinbase CEO said, I hope it's not the case, but as I believe it would be a terrible path for the US if this was allowed to happen. So we're seeing different jurisdictions trying to regulate cryptocurrencies, but they need to regulate cryptocurrencies in the right way, because if they don't, then people will just move out of the jurisdiction and they won't be able to benefit from this up and coming sector. It's in the government's best interest that they learn how to cooperate with cryptocurrency companies and allow them to grow in their jurisdiction so that they can benefit from that. All of these economies need to have a good all of these countries need to have a good economy, and to do so, they need to keep up with the most recent technology. And in this case, it's blockchain technology. So if they stifle a blockchain company's growth, they'll just leave and move to a different jurisdiction and benefit there instead, and benefit that country instead. So the US needs to be careful how they do this. And taking a look, this is what we are looking at in the US right now. We see a little bit more in this article, but let's move on to the next article. We have Robinhood is set to buy back Sam Bankman-Fried's, I'm on first name basis apparently, Sam Bankman-Fried's $578 million shares. Robinhood's board of directors has agreed to a proposal to buy back over 55 million of the company's shares purchased by SBF last year through one of his businesses, Emergent Fidelity Technology, co-owned by Gary Wang, a top executive of FTX. So now we are saying that Robinhood is actually going to buy back those shares. It was a bit of an issue at the time because Sam Bankman-Fried was saying, I own these shares, they could not be used when we're trying to resort FTX. A lot of people that held Robinhood shares and Robinhood as the company did not want Sam Bankman-Fried to part with those shares, because if the liquidators got hold of them, it would have dumped the entire they would have dumped all of the Robinhood shares, and therefore moved the price of Robinhood down. So Robinhood didn't want them to do that. Owners of Robinhood shares didn't want them to do that. Sam Bankman-Fried didn't want them to do that. But now Robinhood has decided to buy back. So this is much more beneficial for those Robinhood shareholders and for Robinhood as a company, because it means those assets won't just get dumped into the market and cause a free fall for the price. So that is what we're looking at on the Crypto Saving Expert News show. We can see here also we have hit 3,000 users on the Crypto Saving Expert site already. It is the one-stop shop for cryptocurrency. We cover every single thing you need to know about the industry. If you want to get some friends into the space, make sure to send them over to cryptosavingexpert.com, because we have all of the information they need to grow completely for free. We were speaking in the team meeting yesterday. The biggest benefit we have as a website right now is you can send all of your friends over to cryptosavingexpert.com. It's completely free. They can learn as much as possible. And they are at no risk. We are a trustworthy news organization that they can't lose any money because it's completely free. So they can just learn and educate themselves in the best way possible. So don't be afraid to send your friends to cryptosavingexpert.com. And also, if they want to come to these live streams, make sure to send them here as well over to our Twitter. We update you on the latest cryptocurrency news over on our Twitter at cryptosavingexp, and over on our Instagram at cryptosavingexpert. So make sure to check both of those out. But that is all we have for today's stream. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price on the 4-hour chart. We can see here that we do have, I've deleted all my lines. Let's go back over to the Binance chart. Here we go. You can see here we are currently struggling to reclaim that level of previous support at $22,770. I'm expecting us to come down and retest that $22,540 level once again. Hopefully we hold it, but if not, I'll be looking down at that $22,290 level. So that is all we have for today's stream. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you back here tomorrow.